Welcome to the Kerrang podcast, day 2 at the Reading Festival. It gives me great pleasure to introduce you to Serj Tankian. How are you doing today?
Good, bro. You?
Excellent. Yeah, good. So tell me about your day today so far.
Woke up and stepped into some crappy mud, and looked at my shoes and said, "Fuck, promoter should have given us rain boots." Mm-hmm. And then looked for a shitter. Had a hard time finding one, and then found catering, and they were closed till 12. But then everything got good.
Right. So it was a bit of a dodgy start to the day.
No, man, it's the festival vibe.
Yeah.
It's playing it rough, but it's cool. It's cool.
Yeah, because the weather's been atrocious in the UK all week, and the sun's finally come out. So I don't know whether it's baking the mud, but yesterday it was like sort of the battle of the Somme, with people's shoes coming off, and there wasn't guns and horses being shot, but
right.
Generally it was just pretty nasty conditions.
But it's always like that at Reading. It's always raining and muddy, and that's how I remember it.
Yeah.
When people say Reading, I that's what I think of mud.
Yeah. It's always like that. So what was your first Reading festival like?
I don't remember. I'm sure it was with System years ago, but I remember the one from 2 years ago, and we had a great time. We played both Reading and Leeds, of course, and
was that with
great
the FCC?
Festival. With the FCC, yeah. And great crowd, great festival. I remember Rage was playing last time as well 2 years ago,
right? Yeah.
And that was really fun. And it was good times.
Brilliant. So what can we expect tonight? Because I understand you're bringing quite a hefty band with you. About 40 members, is that correct?
14.
Yeah.
14. Yeah. We've got the FCC guys, the band. The rock band, and we've also got 8 classical players from the UK, 4 violins, 2 cellos, and 2 French horns. And we're going to be covering material from Elected Dead, the first record, a few songs from Elected Dead Symphony with the classical little ensemble, and also songs from the new album, Imperfect Harmonies, with both the band and classical ensemble.
So with the British contingent, how do you sort of pick those players? Do you kind of do a lot of email and just phone calls?
We actually have a person that actually works through each country and helps pick the people, and that's what their duty is.
It's like a classical X Factor
contractor.
Oh, right.
Classical contractor. Yeah.
Awesome. So what's it like playing with such a different ensemble? Instead of a bass, guitar, and drums and stuff. What's it like having such a wall of sound behind you?
Well, you have the bass, guitar, and drums. Obviously, they're still there. But to have the extra classical instruments is kind of really pumps up the high mids and highs of the show, and really create this more gallant and kind of really regal kind of sound on top of the rock instruments. And you're able to play with the dynamics of the instruments and break it down to like the beautiful string parts, and then build it up with the drums and bass, and so you're able to do much more than you would with just 4 or 5 instruments, obviously.
When you first played as this ensemble, did you get the hairs on the back of your neck stand up at certain points?
Well, I got to play with full orchestra before I got to play with ensemble, and that made my And then also we did 8 other shows with full orchestra in Europe in June, actually, in Moscow, Prague, Warsaw, Berlin, Linz, Rome, Milano. So we played with some amazing orchestras: Czech National Symphony Orchestra, the Globalist Orchestra in Moscow, Orchestra Filarmonica Italiana, and so it was really, really great. And that really is more, to me, kind of puts the hair up on the neck, And this is kind of like a good balance of that and the rock show.
It's feet in both worlds.
Yeah, exactly. And it works well for the festivals because of that.
Yeah. When you were going around Europe with like Moscow and Milano and stuff like that, were you playing in venues that were more accustomed to classical and soap operas and stuff like that?
Yes, we were playing in really nice classical theaters. In Linz, for example, we played at the Bruckner House theater, which is a beautiful theater. In Berlin, we played in the Admiral's Palace. In Milano, we played at the Archibaldi Theater. So they're all really nice, beautiful sound theaters. Not tense.
Are the acoustics drastically different to a rock club?
Sure.
You can just tell.
A rock club is different. The nice theaters, the acoustic theaters are different, and obviously the festivals, outside area, and tents and sheds are quite different. They all have different sounds.
Yeah. What sort of bands are you going to check out today if you've got time?
I don't think I'm going to have much time to check anyone out, and plus I've been on this festival run for 4 weeks now, and
you just wanna
I'm kind of like, I hear that fucking kick anywhere, it's But I saw Queens, I saw a couple of bands a few festivals back. I might see Arcade Fire, actually. I've seen them at Pemberton festival. I'm seeing the list there, so this helps.
All right.
A couple of years ago, I saw them in Vancouver, and they were really great to watch as a performing band. And yeah, maybe some more.
Cool.
If we're around.
That's brilliant. Well, finally, in this week's Kerrang, you're bemoaning the fact of the festival food isn't quite nice.
So I think someone caught it, because the food today was actually way better than Reading 2 years ago.
So what was on your plate today? What did you build?
Good question. Let me think. I had a little salad. I had a soup. The soup was really good. It was parsley soup or something like that, and pureed. It was really nice. And what else did I have? I can't think of it, but it was actually good. I had fish. They had really nicely well done. I think it was trout or something.
Right.
And yeah, it's much better than the last time. Last time was kind of nothing to write home about. But yeah, so it's getting better. Good on you, Reading.
Cool. I mean, does it really make a world of difference to your day?
Fuck yeah. I mean, all you have when you tour and you're doing all these festivals is sleep. You know, the ability to sleep. As far as recuperating as an artist, all you have is sleep and food, and you know, you're going to the bathroom, and like you need a couple of those things to be normal, so that you can. So
if that routine gets spoiled in any way, it really.
Well, your routine gets spoiled either way, but if you have bad food, if you're feeding your artists bad food, they're not going to have the same type of energy to perform for your festival. It's counterproductive and a bad business decision. If you have good food, then you're at least showing your artists that you care as much about them and spending money on them as about other things, including marketing and advertising and publicity and all this stuff. Because these festivals spend a lot of money, but they also make a lot of money. And I've seen some festivals that have done really great backstage, you know, taking care of their artists. Some of the newer festivals, actually. And now that there's a lot of festivals competing, I think the older festivals need to pay attention to them.
So in a few years, we're going to see Gordon Ramsay backstage dishing out the fruit to the artists. You never know.
You never know.
If there was a Serj Tankian food-themed stall out there for the the music fans out there, what would your signature dish be? What would keep them coming back for more?
Signature? I don't cook, so I don't know. No idea. But I've actually thought of making a blog. Maybe you can help me on this if you're interested. Making a blog of artist catering at festivals.
That sounds good.
That way you can rate them, and maybe it'll help the cause eventually.
That's great. We'll do that then. Well, thanks for joining us.
Thanks,
nice speaking to you again.
Yeah,
Cheers.
nice seeing
Thank you.